So trend number one is the new and changing players. With the dismantling of the redevelopment agencies last year, making affordable funding less available, many developers of affordable apartments are looking to transfer their experience into market. So trend number two is multi-generational. You've heard a lot about multi-generational. You are going to hear trend number three is technology. Nothing new about technology. Of course, technology will be on the trend list of every presentation at the beginning of every year going forward. Trend number four, the last of my big picture trends, is that the conversion of various types of existing properties into 55-plus housing has really, really ramped up. So what all this means is that there are new and exciting options for 55-plus people that didn't exist before or didn't exist in the present form. There's a lot of creativity and innovation out there and room for more. These are exciting times, and we're going to see even more examples of really thoughtful and interesting approaches to dealing with the aging of America.
The next thing, too, another trend, I think, is location as the amenity. This one happens to be out at Riverside, Cambria, and it's right there by La Sierra University. So they're taking advantage of the university as the amenity. This one that just actually won a SAGE Award here is in Echo Park, Parkview Senior Living, and it's right down there. It's the bottom building, or it fits right there to the right of the fountain. It sits right up on Echo Park. Unfortunately, they're redoing Echo Park, so you can't market it right now, but it will be a great spot to walk around that park when it's done. And then this one's in downtown LA, and if any of you don't know Angeles Plaza, this is incredible. It's almost 1,100 units, the nation's largest affordable, age-restricted senior community in the United States. It's 1,100 units of one unit type, 504 square feet. We did a renovation of it. They have a 13-year waiting list to get in there. And it's right downtown. There's 5 towers and a great community for Retirement Housing Foundation.
Technology. You know, we're finding that the senior residents, they still like the print ad, but really is just a driver to get them to the websites. And that, you know, they're actually heavily involved. They like some of the special features that we have put in, that like P11 has done for us, furniture planners, because they all don't know where their furniture is going to go, and they can move it around and play with it. So, you know, we're finding them more and more, you know, using a computer, which, you know, my mother's 92, and she has a phone, and that's a miracle for her, but, you know, she hasn't gotten to the computer yet. Mobile phones, you know, 50% of the users are using smartphones. Which go to the card technology and some of these other things.
The changes that we're seeing, it seems to be continuing, saying similar things from last year, just continuing on. One of them is with all of the home health and all of the changes in the environments to be able to, people to stay home longer, we have to really be able to identify what is it that makes a senior living community for a person in their 80s better for their health than staying at home. And the key, really, in our business, the first real adaptive factor is to really promote the value of the socialization process within our communities and being able to have that socialization as well as have their individual care needs met. And there's, you know, been a lot of studies to show that socialization is the #1 reason to promote a healthy lifestyle, to prevent aging. There's social connections, actually slow the memory loss process. So that is the biggest adaptive feature we're seeing now, is going out and really representing that to the public. Secondly, it's a continuum of care. We cannot no longer have an isolated assisted living building or a memory care building or an independent living building. We have to be able to provide care at all phases of the continuum and do it really well. And I think that that's not an easy thing to do. And when people come to our communities, they may move into independent living, and because they're moving in later, 2 months later, there's additional care needs. So we're constantly have to adapt our programming, our staffing, and our community spaces to the changing needs of the population. When you build a new community, oftentimes you get a younger population moving in, and as they age in place, you need to start providing different services. And the challenge is to make it as attractive for the independent people who still want to move in as those who may need memory care. The fourth trend is really family involvement in the decision-making process to move in and in the ongoing process of care. Increasingly, our customer is multifaceted. It's the parent, it's the adult child, sometimes it's also the grandchild, sometimes it's the lawyer, sometimes it's the doctor. There's a lot of people that we have to please all at the same time. So we're not just serving, our residents are always our first service expectation, but we're also having to design portals and things for our adult children to be able to check what's going on with their parent that day, what have they been doing. We have Skype and different ways of communication with the family members, and doctors also are really important to keep in touch with. So there's a whole new communications process now for us is operating our communities.